Hi Leo, welcome to November. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And this month we have a new moon in Scorpio, which is happening in your 4th house. And Venus moves into Capricorn on November 5th. The new moon's on the 4th. Mercury moves into Scorpio on the 5th. We have a full moon eclipse in Taurus, which is in your career sector, on the 19th. And then at the end of the month, Mercury moves into Sag. So let's see what the cards say for Leo for love and relationships for November. What does Leo need to know about love and relationships for the month of November 2021? What is coming up for Leo? What does Leo need to know about love and relationships for November 2021? What does Leo need to know about love and relationships for November 2021? Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, the Two of Cups. The King of Swords. The Eight of Cups in the past. The Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Swords coming up in the future. The Four of Cups. The Ten of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles. And the Judgment. And the card at the bottom of the deck is the Strength card. Okay, so the Two of Cups is a card of love, wanting to connect with someone at the soul level. You may start the month off with feelings that you want to be in a relationship, or you're wanting that soulmate connection. And you have these two, the King of Swords energy crossing it. You may feel that someone in your life has been too harsh with you, or maybe you were too harsh and judgmental with someone else. It could be either way. Because the King of Swords energy is someone who's using logic to make a decision rather than leading with their heart. So maybe you're thinking, in the past I've chose a relationship based on love. This time I'm going to do what makes sense, what's best for me. It could also mean that you're dealing with an air sign, that you have the potential to connect with someone who's an air sign. And that could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, especially you have the Queen of Swords here. You have these two, the King and the Queen of the same sign. So that could mean that you have the potential to have a soulmate connection. Where there's more of a meeting of the minds, it's more of a mental connection than a physical one. Now, in the past, you have the Eight of Cups. So this is a card of walking away from something that was once good, but it's no longer fulfilling. So you may have left a relationship in the recent past. Maybe there were psychological issues or anger issues that needed to be resolved, because you have the Strength card here. So the Strength card sometimes means someone who goes to extremes of emotion, who overreacts, who uses anger to get their needs met. So maybe you were having issues around anger, and that's either you left a relationship or someone walked away from you because you weren't really, you had a lot of unresolved issues, psychological issues between you. And some of them involved ways of getting your needs met, ways of resolving, using anger, expressing anger. It could also mean the Strength card sometimes comes up when someone sabotages their relationships because they lack a sense of self-worth. You have the Queen of Pentacles here. that this is an influence that's fading. So it could have been that you were dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You could have possibly saved the relationship through counseling, but maybe you chose not to for whatever reason. And anyway, that influence is fading. Coming up is this Queen of Swords energy. The Queen of Swords is a little bit more, so this could be, I think both you and the person you're interacting with, this person has a wall up. They're a no-nonsense person. So you can't, you have to be on your best behavior with this person, because the Queen of Swords does not put up with any nonsense. The Queen of Swords energy is someone who has been hurt in the past, and they're in a self-protective mode. They have this wall up, like you have to prove yourself before I will let my guard down and let you come back in, or even let you get close to me. So you might be dealing with someone who's been through a lot in a relationship, and they're looking for someone who's real, who's not giving them a line of BS, And you too, you have this King of Swords energy, which is about discrimination. Let me think before I jump into a relationship. Is this person right for me? You might even be trying to separate what's real from what's not real. Maybe you see things one way and the reality may be totally different. And you're trying to figure it out. It could also mean that one of you in the relationship was a little bit too harsh on the other person, or too judgmental, maybe too critical. And that could have had an influence in why this person left. Now, coming up in the future, you have the Four of Cups energy. This is a card of feeling bored and dissatisfied with life. Like, I'm bored. I don't feel valued in my current situation. Look, I want something else. Someone's offering me love, but I don't know if I want it. You're kind of feeling like, I don't know what this person, I don't know if it's exactly what I want. But at the same time, you have this Ten of Pentacles, which is a card of wealth and security, and you really want that home. You want that happy home. You want that feeling of, I'm safe. I found, I have a home, and I have a partner who's got my back, who's there for me. I feel supported, both not only emotionally, but financially. I don't have to worry about where my next meal is coming from, or how I'm going to pay the bills. But it's in your negative thinking sector. So I feel like a part of you is doubting that it's even possible. So you have to, if you're having any kind of negative thoughts about your potential relationship or your ability to connect with someone on that level, you need to stop thinking that way and start thinking in the positive. Yes, I can achieve this. So you have in your environment the Four of Pentacles. So right now I feel like your main focus is financial security. You're worried about money. You're trying to create some kind of stability. You might have, with this Queen of Swords energy coming into the future, you might have the potential to connect with someone. And it could possibly be a good connection because you have the King and the Queen of Swords. But I feel, like I said again, it's going to be more, every relationship is different. Some relationships are really passionate and it's all about the sexual energy, and others are more based on friendship. There's always a focus, a different focus in each relationship. So this one might be more of a meeting of the minds, or, the ability to communicate. So that may not be the most passionate relationship, where like the sex is hot and heavy, but it may be where you really understand each other and you can really talk to each other. And that could be valuable too. So you have the Seven of Pentacles here, which is, okay, I'm waiting to see where are things going to go. Maybe you're at the beginning stages of a new relationship after you've left something, something has ended. And you're waiting to see what's going to happen. And you have the Judgment. This is the main thing. The Judgment as the last card. It's about, Judgment has so many meanings. One of them is you have to learn. It's a card of rebirth. It's a card of waking up. It's a card of realizing your part in a situation. So maybe in the past you might have blamed the other person for what went wrong in a relationship. Now you may be looking at yourself and saying, yeah, you know what? I did some things that I could have done better too. and I've learned from the situation, and I'm going to try and be better. And I feel like you're really working on yourself to work on those habits, work on that, whatever you have done that may sabotage you in relationships, or maybe sabotage your ability to attract love that you need. And maybe you're treating yourself better, you're eating better, or getting into a health regimen that's better for you. I feel like you're coming out of the ashes, you're being reborn, and you're feeling stronger. So I feel like this is going to be something that's developing over time, like this month. Like you're waking up and you're realizing, you know what, I've got to take charge of my life. I can't just sit around waiting for, something to just drop in. I've got to if I want my life to change, I have to make changes. So if you're in this state of boredom, this Four of Cups of, I don't like my life, I don't like where I'm at, nothing's happening, the Judgment is here to tell you, you have to work on you. If you want to change the external, you have to work from the inside out. So you have to work on yourself. Forget about the other people, because you can't control other people. All you can control is you and your reaction to the world. So if you work on you, you will automatically start attracting different people into your life and different energy. The other thing that the Judgment, and it usually comes up when you change jobs or you change relationships, you're making major changes. You're the agent of change in your life. You're not waiting for life to change things. You're making those changes. So if you're not happy in a situation, you're deciding to change it. And there also is an energy of involving forgiveness with this card. So you have to forgive the past and release the past. Like forgive if you were in a bad relationship or a relationship that didn't work out. Instead of holding on to resentment and anger, you need to let it go. You need to forgive whatever happened. Okay, this didn't work out. I forgive you. I bless you. And I'm ready to move on. Because if you don't, you're always going to have those tentacles from the past interfering with any future relationship. So you can have this Ten of Pentacles. You can have this Two of Cups energy. You can have the soulmate connection you want. But you have to also make some changes and learn about, it might even be helpful to go for counseling and learn how to deal with getting your needs met, learning how to deal with anger issues, learning how to deal with self-esteem issues, so that you can be your best self, and then you're attracting somebody else who's also their best self. But I feel like you're going to be a lot more discriminating this time around with who you get involved with. You're not going to just jump into a relationship just because you need a warm body. You're going to really be thinking, is this person a good match? Is this someone I can deal with? So the new moon is happening in your 4th house, and Mars is there. The moon conjuncts with Mars, and then it moves into the new moon energy. First it hits Mars, then it hits the sun, then it opposes Uranus. So Uranus always brings surprise, unexpected developments. And this is an angular house, the 4th and the 10th house. Uranus is in your 10th. The new moon is in your 4th. So it's really going to be significant. Mars in the 4th, you're really feeling energetic. Like, I want to create the home. If you're living with someone, you might be fighting with them. If your house is not if your home life is not the way you want it to be, or you could be working hard to set up a new home. You have an opportunity for a new place. Maybe you're moving into a new, creating a new home for yourself, or reconnecting with family, because the 4th house is also family, home, family, your early childhood. Maybe it's time you could have a new beginning where you come to terms with some of your childhood programming. But it's going to involve work. Mars is there. You have to be focused. You have to be disciplined. And you have to dig deep, because Scorpio is ruling the 4th house. You can't just, skim the surface. You have to go deep into the psychology of your family dynamic to find out how you can create this new beginning. Uranus at the 10th, it can be a sudden change in your life status. That could mean a sudden career opportunity. A sudden change in your life path, where you decide to go down a different road in your career. It could also mean going from single to married to single. Whatever's happening, it's going to happen unexpectedly or suddenly. At the same time of this new moon, Mars is going to be squaring Saturn this month. And Saturn's in your 7th house. So that's the house of relationships. You're seeing the reality of your relationships, your serious partnerships. And with Mars in the 4th, if something is not working, you're going to be fighting about it. You're going to fight to fix it or fight to see it. You can't sweep it under the rug anymore. You either have to fix it or leave it. It's going to get to that. Because the relationship, if you don't fix it, you're going to feel a sense of heaviness or a sense of restriction. So that could come to a head this month. At the same time, you have a positive aspect between Mercury and Venus. Mercury's in your 3rd house, Venus is in your 5th house. So one way out of this dilemma is to reach out to friends and family, because the 3rd house is siblings, friends, your local environment. Mercury is communication. So you need to reach out. Don't be the hermit. Contact someone if you're having a difficult time. And the 5th house has to do with romance and creative self-expression. Children. So if you have children, reach out to your children. Do something fun with them. Or if you have a creative project that you like to do something creative that you like to do, whether it's art or music or whatever. That will help you deal with these difficult energies that are going on in your home life and your relationships. It could also bring a new romance, because Venus in the 5th, if you're looking for love, it could bring someone new in. But the 5th house is really just like dating. It's early stages of a romance. It's not really commitment, but it's still fun energy. It's like you need to have some fun in your life. Maybe you've been too serious for too long. Maybe you've been too burdened by problems and it's time to get out and have some fun. So don't be afraid to reach out at this time. Then we have the full moon, and that's happening on the 19th, just before Thanksgiving, or the week before. And this is a partial eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse, so that can sometimes eclipse a female figure from your life. This full moon is happening in the 10th, so that's your career or life direction house, your public house. So that could mean someone you work with may be leaving, or if you're in a relationship, you may decide to part ways. Because it's also, you have Mercury and Mars are, at this point, Mercury has moved into Scorpio, and it's in your 4th house. So there's a lot more communication going on, and Mars, there might be a lot more discussions around family and home and what you want, how you want to set up a home, what you need for security. Mars is opposing Uranus from the 4th house in the 10th house, so you could make some sudden decisions about your life direction, about your home. Maybe you decide, like, you know what, I don't want to live here anymore, or I want a new house, or I want to live in a new place, or I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, or I don't want to be in this career anymore. There could be sudden changes, like maybe you have a new career opportunity and then you have to move. A lot of things could be happening at this time, at this full moon. The full moon usually brings things to completion. It brings things to the surface that you weren't aware of. So if anything was hidden from you, the truth is going to come out at this time. Maybe you have a discussion with someone about home or family. Now, at the same time, you have Venus in your 6th house, and it's trining Uranus in the 10th house. So there could be some unexpected developments around your career or your job if you're working. If 6th house could also be a health issue that pops up unexpectedly that you can't sweep under the rug, you have to take care of it. So there could be, but it's a trine. So a trine aspect is positive. It could be unexpected, a fortunate thing that happens out of the blue, that helps you get on the right path health-wise, or helps you get into a better job career-wise. You have Jupiter in your 7th house, so you should take advantage of Jupiter in the 7th house. When it's been there for almost a year, and Jupiter's going to be leaving at the end of this year, moving into Pisces. So while Jupiter's in the 7th, if you haven't found the right partner, you need to get out there and look, because Jupiter brings you luck wherever he goes. And you could find someone who is financially secure, someone who brings joy and optimism into your life, someone who helps you just feel better in a lot of ways. So you can get the ideal partner when Jupiter's in your 7th house. Pluto is still moving through your 6th house. Venus is going to become, it's not there yet, but she will be connecting with Pluto probably next month. So that can bring intensity. You might even meet someone on the job if you're working, or through some kind of health issue. Maybe you're going for some health treatment and you connect with someone and there's powerful emotions developing. Venus and Pluto can be tricky because it can bring intense passion, but it can also bring issues around control and power and manipulation and betrayal. Like you have to be careful with these energies because they're very powerful. But it's in Capricorn, so you could connect with someone where there's an age difference, where one person is like more like a parent to the other, or it could also mean that you're connecting with someone, making a serious commitment to that person, or that job, or that whatever comes up at that time. This full moon it's forming an out of sign conjunction to the North Node, and the North Node is in the 11th house for you in Gemini. So you could learn some things about the friends that you have and the groups that you belong to. There could be, maybe you're going to have an opportunity to make new friends or interact with people in a new way. You might be reaching out to friends you haven't talked to in a while. Or you may learn some things. I feel like the full moon usually brings things to an awareness. And so you learn things. The only thing you have to watch out for this month, if you decide to speak your truth, because Mercury, and Gemini, and Mercury is conjunct the sun at this full moon. Pretty much, it's close. It's a few, like 6 degrees away, but it's close enough that it can have an influence. So you may, and Mercury is squaring Jupiter. So you may reach a point where you decide, you know what, I really need to tell my partner, whoever it is, whether it's a business partner or a marriage partner, I need to talk about what's been bothering me. And I need to communicate and speak my piece. Just be careful that you don't go over the top, because with the square to Jupiter, you may overdo it. You may exaggerate things, make things worse than what they are, or blow things out of proportion. So you want to be sure that when you're communicating, you're sticking to the facts and don't embellish anything. At the same time, Mercury is sextile Pluto. And Pluto, so you really are getting special insight into whatever's going on in your life. So if someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you're seeing right through them, or you could really communicate at a deep level. You're not looking for lighthearted, conversation. You want to go deep. You want to really talk about the issues. The only other problem would be, now as far as love goes, Venus trine Uranus can bring love in unexpectedly with someone that's very exciting. It may or may not last because Uranus is kind of unstable, but you'll have fun while it lasts. You'll enjoy the relationship, and it could be something that gives you a sense of excitement and freedom if you've been kind of in a rut. But Mars opposing Uranus, you have to be careful because that's a volatile combination. So don't do anything reckless with the Mars opposite Uranus. Don't, drive when you're angry. Don't make a quick decision. Give yourself time. Don't react with Mars, because someone may push your buttons, or you may just get angry and say, that's it, I'm out of here. And then you may regret it down the road. So you want to be careful not to do anything reckless, but you may also be dealing with someone else who's doing something reckless. Someone who just makes a sudden decision and it affects your life in some way, your home life or your career. So because these are the 4th and the 10th house are being activated at this time. So if you're having problems at home, try to work it out, try to be diplomatic, communicate in a healthy way. Don't make any rash decisions while you're under this influence. But the positive side is that you can get things out in the open, and you can talk about the things that you've been keeping to yourself. So if you've been not happy and you're not really talking about it, now's the time to talk about it. But just be careful on how, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And you have to also own your part in any conflict. You can't just blame the other person. So I feel like this month is going to be could be life-changing for you, Leo. If you handle it in the right way, it can get you on the right path, and you can have that soulmate connection. You can have that financial stability and that secure home that you've wanted. But it may you may have to go through some hurdles before you get there. But I feel like that there can be genuine healing this month as well. But you're going to have to take responsibility for your health and to make some lifestyle changes to help you to get you in a more healthier place or more healthier routine or regimen. So that's my forecast, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click on the like button or leave a comment. Let me know if this resonated with you. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, thank you for supporting this channel. I appreciate everyone's comments and likes and subscribes. And I wish you a wonderful November. If you're celebrating, have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, if you're in America. Otherwise, enjoy November, and I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.